the 2K Sports pregame show.
Hey everybody, welcome to the NBA on 2K Sports. I'm Ernie Johnson. With me, oh you know him, Shaquille O'Neal. You know this guy too, Kenny the Jet Smith. Tonight we'll see the Oklahoma City Thunder playing against the Charlotte Hornets. Taking a look at the Hornets, they're not satisfied with the record over the last 10 games. Under 500 basketball, just not good enough. Looking to improve tonight. And tonight, we get to watch Miles Bridges, one of the more explosive young players in the league. Shaq, what do you like about him?
Ferocious, dunks everything he can, high energy, never takes a playoff.
Yep. His shooting has improved every year as well, Ernie. I don't know if you knew that.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
He's come miles with that.
He needs to keep refining his skill set, but I like him. I got it. He needs to come miles.
He's going miles with
Yeah,
that.
I got it. I caught that.
Bridging his game from the collegiate ranks
you're too
to
good,
the NBA.
Got it.
You're
Miles Bridges. Can have a lot of fun with his name. Here's Kevin Harlan.
Live from Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, the home of the Thunder, we're broadcasting from the Chesapeake Energy Arena. Kevin Harlan here with Greg Anthony and a pair of Hall of Famers with us, Doris Burke and David Aldridge. Thrilled to be back in Oklahoma City. The Thunder ready for that home court advantage. Still early in the season, but the front office and coaching staff likes what they are seeing from this team so far. Better winning percentage than last year.
And this is a great chance, Kevin, for this team to establish some home court dominance. Long stand coming up in front of them and an easy way to try and build some momentum.
Now let's send it down to David Aldridge, standing by from the sidelines. David?
Well, guys, we know Russell Westbrook is a fearsome competitor, but he says you never know how long you'll be able to run like this or jump like this, so I go for it every time. I may look angry, but it's the only way I know. Yes, you look angry. Kevin?
Yeah, he's special, D.A., absolutely. Thanks. In the early going here, Doris, we're already seeing a continued trend, putting 5 guys on the floor who can hit the face-up jumper.
Well, this is the new age in the NBA. The floor spacing is incredible because when you've got 5 face-up guys, all of whom can put the ball on the deck, all of whom can shoot, it creates so many driving lanes. And the origin of this, to me, goes back to the last Spurs NBA championship. It was such pretty basketball, the movement, the flow. That, to me, was the starting point for all this.
Team's kind of playing outside in, and it's fun to watch the change. Here's the starting group for the Charlotte Hornets. Kaminsky and Zeller are the bigs. Then it's Jeremy Lamb. Then there's Batum, and it's Graham in at the 1. Here's Robertson. Clock at 6. Lays it up and in on the nice reverse.
Well, Andre Robertson, a little separation on the interior. That's pretty.
Ball's knocked loose. And the pass to Zeller. The dish to Lamb. Outside for Batum. Jacks up a 3. And the rebound goes to the Thunder. They're moving on after the tough loss they took at the hands of the Warriors.
And with your defense, one part's your ability, the other, though, is effort, and in that one they showed neither.
No, there's no question, Greg. I thought their defensive intensity was lacking from the outset. It looked like they were just hoping the other team would miss.
Oh, that's some fancy ball handling right there. Since when does he take guys off the dribble?
Westbrook kicks to Robertson. Passes to Patterson. Out to the right wing. The 3. The shot comes out, and Charlotte will come the other way. Last time they met was in Charlotte.
Yeah, a really close game between these two in that last matchup. It took a total team effort for them to get the win.
Yeah, I don't think they win without the productivity they got from their bench. That made the difference.
Here's Robertson. Outside for George. Gets a very good look and converts. George has got his first basket.
Now, Paul George is a phenomenal catch-and-shoot guy. Measures the shot before receiving the pass. It's hard to guard.
Pass to Kaminsky. It's hauled in by Adams.
And a surprise he doesn't knock that down. Defense a little too lax that time.
And George with the stuff.
Well, just incredible instincts from Russell Westbrook. How about that pass? On time, on target, make it easy.
Here's Graham. 14 points from him the last game against Indiana. A shot by Batum, no good.
Well, they're simply having trouble getting their legs underneath them, right? They're just 1 for 5 to start things off.
Here's Graham. He's covered by Westbrook. With some arc, Graham with the bucket.
And it's all about the release when you shoot the floater.
And so Westbrook will bring it up for the Oklahoma City Thunder. Pass to George. Adams with it, and Zeller picks him up defensively. Lets it go from 11. Charlotte trailing. Batum scanning the floor. Kicks it to Graham. And here is Lamb. Really struggled in the loss against Indiana. It's stolen by Adams. The feed to Robertson. And he gets the whistle. 2 free throws coming up.
Well, an elite perimeter defender, Andre Robertson uses that impressive length to bother players. What a solid role player this guy has become.
Oklahoma City shooting their first free throws of the game on this trip to the line. First free throw is good. Andre Robertson played power forward Doris at Colorado. He has slid all the way down to shooting guard in the NBA.
Well, I like that you used the word guarding because that is why Andre Robertson is in the NBA. He is an elite defensive player. He can guard across multiple positions. And you think about who he's matching up with on a night-by-night basis. Whether it's 1s, 2s, or 3s, this is one of the more disruptive defenders we have ever seen.
The Thunder leading by 3. To the inside, Patterson laid in with a nice touch off the glass.
Well, I think this is where they'd like to see Patrick Patterson be effective, get his points in tight, make nice, efficient moves to the rim.
Here's Batum, and he can't bank that one in.
A nightmare quarter for this guy. Simply can't buy a bucket.
Zeller against Adams. Over Zeller. Adams' shot is off. Hornets trail by 5. Here's Lamb. He's been a factor in their offense on most nights with his scoring average at nearly 16 points a game. Batum attacking, and it's sent back by George.
Paul George, tremendous vertical, Kevin. How fast does he get off his feet? That's all about the positioning right there. Doesn't let anybody beat him to the spot before he can get the follow-up.
The Thunder have gone 50% from the field to this point, 4 of 8. Six on the shot clock. In the corner, it's Patterson. The shot's good on the assist by George. Patterson's got his second basket.
From the opening tip, he's been active and working for good looks. He's been pretty accurate.
And that one goes out of bounds. Last touch by Westbrook.
And here's a look at some numbers for Westbrook. This last month, he has been a real positive for this team. Averaging 22 points per, 5 rebounds, and 3 assists. He has been terrific throughout, putting up some huge numbers offensively.
Well, and this is exactly who he is, a flat-out scoring machine. You plug him in and let him go to work.
Guys, Jeremy Lamb, 2 years at UConn, drafted by the Thunder, but he's come into his own with the Hornets.
Yeah, and what some exec call the second draft, finding young players who, for whatever reason, haven't been able to make an impact with their first team, sometimes that change of scenery and ability to mature can do wonders for a player.
Now, gentlemen, 2 shots. Woo shots.
And the first one drops.
When you think about the Oklahoma City Thunder, you have to start and end the conversation with the historic regular seasons put on by Russell Westbrook. The one thing you have to wonder, has he taken them as far as he can?
And Lamb drops them both. And if you're building a team around Westbrook on paper, Doris, how do you do it?
Well, he's a player, obviously, who needs the basketball in his hands. And if you look at a team like the Rockets, where James Harden is complemented by shooters and a rim runner, you wonder if that's the blueprint for somebody like Russell Westbrook.
Here's Graham, following the basket by Russell Westbrook. Graham kicks to Zeller. Sweet little floater.
And just a nice combination of size and feel there. Terrific finish down low.
Here's Westbrook. And all around the rim that time before dropping in.
Boy, this guy's a rock. You know, this is a player that you can count on to produce under any circumstance.
Outside, Batum. High post shot, and the shot goes in. Batum's got his first 2 points of the night.
And how about that exhale there? Finally gets one to fall through 6 attempts.
Here's Westbrook. Adams, the pass to Westbrook. He kicks it to Robertson. Oklahoma City moving it around. Drills the three-pointer. Patterson's got 7.
This is as good as it gets for a first quarter in terms of shooting the basketball.
Batum against George from 12 feet out, and an air ball on that one, way off.
As he's been this quarter, it's not helping them to trim the deficit.
Patterson, that's good.
Well, Russell Westbrook demonstrating how talented a passer he can be.
So Charlotte calls timeout. They're first. And Russell Westbrook, he is a standard bearer for the Jordan brand with his own signature shoe, Greg. Few players have ever been as competitive as Michael Jordan, but you think Westbrook may be in that conversation?
No doubt about it. The similarities don't end there. The surreal athleticism, the will to dominate, and that fire, finding grudges to motivate them to their highest level. I think there's a kinship in how MJ and Russ approach the game.
Catching up on the changes for Oklahoma City. Noel's checked in for Adams. Grant comes in for Patrick Patterson. Raymond Felton, he's checked in for Robertson. And Dennis Schroeder subbed in for Russell Westbrook. Grant, that's good.
And the defense looks soft early on. They've got to sum it up. A little more sense of urgency.
Here's Graham. He's guarded by Schroeder. Back to Kid Gilchrist. Off to a good start as he hits his first shot attempt.
And really, it's been a major aspect of their offense in the early stages here. Their success working the ball inside and getting points from close range.
Now, here's George. He's a player that you can only hope to slow down as he averages nearly 28 points a game. Can't hit the corner three. Hornets trail by 8. Here's Kid Gilchrist. No good that time. Some solid defense from Grant. Schroeder outside. Goes up from the top of the key. Again, the Thunder score.
I don't know if you can do it any better on both ends than they have tonight.
I don't think you can ask for anything more, Greg. What a wonderful job establishing a lead early in this one.
Now, here's Monk. He's been quiet so far. Still no points in the game. Count it. And it's Schroeder with the ball. He brings it up for the Oklahoma City Thunder. 8-point game. And Oklahoma City again with the bucket.
Man, hard to believe. Already they're staring at a double-digit lead, and we've just gotten started.
Boy, they have come out strong. They've controlled the pace, asserted their will. Wow.
Now, here's Bridges. Taking a look at his stats, he's averaging around 7.5 points a game. Now the pass to Hernan Gomez. 5 on the clock. Here's Graham. A three-pointer, no good.
Just doing the job on the backboard.
It's Schroeder with the drive. And the basket is good. And it's a 12-point Oklahoma City lead.
How about the passing? They are moving the ball without any thought, without any individual agendas.
Down low, stolen by Grant. Here's the break. Over Kid Gilchrist. And he overshot that one, missing. Charlotte's gone 0-4 from three-point land to start out. Looking cold from outside. Here's Graham. He's guarded by Schroeder. Graham kicks to Bridges. And it's sent back by George. Fouled in the act of shooting. Gets the bucket anyway, so a three-point play chance for him.
And I need to see some more assertiveness out of these defenders.
And he was one of many big names in free agency this past summer. Paul George, a huge part of that. But, you know, Greg, he didn't take long to make his decision.
Many expected George to maybe jump to the Lakers. Had been saying it was his dream to play in L.A. for over a year. But credit Westbrook and the Thunder. They won him over. He was one of the first signings in free agency to re-up with OKC.
Well, to me, Paul George exemplifies what a leader should be. This guy does not look for his personal stats. He just wants to make the guys around him better.
Here's Graham. His scoring has been there on a regular basis. He's averaging more than 14 points a game. And Dennis Schroeder gets the whistle that time. That's his first foul. .139 left here in the first quarter. Here's Monk. Drills the three-pointer.
And you gotta love that three-point stroke of Monk. I mean, he's got such a high arcing shot there. It gives it a good chance to go in from deep.
Now, here's George. Coming in off a 41-point performance last game out. Here's Grant. Takes the elbow jumper and drains it. And the Thunder lead by 14.
And guys, they've come out and established a rhythm. And also their play calling has been on point.
Yeah, I think that's exactly how they've built this lead. They played as one, shared the basketball, running their offense to perfection.
Oklahoma City's gone 1 of 3 from beyond the arc so far in the game. Hornets trail by 14. Now Graham. And no good. Excellent D there from George.
Well, they've been playing some tough defense on him in this period, and it's starting to affect him. This guy's having trouble finding the target right now.
Now here's Noel. He's been patient so far. Nothing on the scoreboard yet. Shot and game clock separated by 5. To the middle. And slam dunk by Kid Gilchrist.
And how about Monk there scanning the floor for the open teammate? That's how you develop a trust from your teammates.
Schroeder surveying the floor. No good on that one.
Boy, a little too casual on the layup. Temporary loss of focus, not good.
And so it's the Oklahoma City Thunder enjoying a 12-point lead as they talk things over during the break. Their transition game has been in full effect. Right back after this break. Paul George had that nasty broken leg back in 2014. He describes what inspired him to come back even stronger.
My inspiration really came from my mother. You know, her dealing with stroke, her dealing with really being down and out. You know, I saw her fight back. That was enough for me in my darkest days. I knew it was nothing to what my mom went through, and she came out perfectly fine. So.
Well, what a story. George worked hard to get back and is not disappointed in his return.
You know, recovering from a devastating injury is never easy, but George's perspective and commitment helped him to overcome it.
And glad to have you with us, folks. Second quarter of basketball. This game has not exactly been neck and neck, but plenty of time left in this one. And a very convincing performance from the Thunder so far.
Through that first one, they've turned this thing into a track meet.
I'll tell you, they've simply been more assertive in the open floor. They're leaking out early, converting with confidence.
And a moment now to reset the lineups, courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up for the second quarter of basketball. So for Oklahoma City right now, the 4 and the 5 are Grant and Noel. Felton is out there with Dennis Schroeder, and it's George in at the 3, the small forward. He gets it in there. That's now 8 points for Michael Kidd-Gilchrist.
I tell you, he has some impressive moves in his repertoire. That's as good as it gets, but just one of many.
Here's George. Biyombo with the block.
Well, Biyombo's calling card, right? A terrific shot blocker. Boy, put it in his vicinity. He's sending it back.
And with that, the Thunder lead is cut down now to just 5 on the basket from Michael Kidd-Gilchrist. Schroeder outside. Passes it to Grant. Back to George. This one for 3. Down it goes. That's 4 made from the field. He's 4 of 8.
You have got to be aware of Paul George. He is a knockdown shooter from deep.
Here's Graham. He's guarded by Schroeder. That's it, and the Oklahoma City lead is cut down to just 6 points with the basket from Graham.
And there's a pattern starting to take shape here. They're working it inside and getting good shots from close range.
Outside, George. Second chance shot. He lays it in. George has got 5 points now in the quarter.
Well, Paul George has got a tight handle, right? The zig, the zag, and his way through the porous defense.
Graham dishes to Monk. Shot from the top of the key. No good off the back of the rim.
Well, yeah, I mean, you want to give your offense a chance, and that possession didn't do it.
Not at all, Greg. I mean, no reason for him to be taking these kinds of shots. He has only himself to blame.
And the foul called on Nerlens Noel. That's his first foul. Doris, statistically, today's game is picked apart by so many different ways. But for you, what are the statistical areas that you are most interested in?
Well, I think one of the things that can be undervalued, particularly from the defensive side of the ball, are things like deflections or charges taken or even shots contested. And I say those things, Kevin, because deflections force an offense to restart. Charges taken gets a possession for your team. And shots contested affects, obviously, the field goal percentage of the team you're guarding. So it's all of those little defensive stats that you really have to track and be monitoring to understand the value that they have on winning.
Very interesting. Now, here's Grant. Taking a look at his numbers, he averages about 7 points a game. Now here's Lamb. He's tightly guarded. Here's Zeller. Outside for Batum. From deep. It's rebounded by Oklahoma City. Adams has got his 5th rebound in this one. And here in the second quarter of action as we approach 4 minutes played. Noel down low. Biyombo on him. Just 5 on the clock. Here's Felton. Great D that time from Batum.
Boy, I didn't think he had a chance of stopping that lay-in. What a gutsy defensive play.
Outside, Kidd-Gilchrist. Got a piece of it. And stolen by Noel. Batum with the steal. And Nicholas Batum with the slam.
And guys, that's a big swing right there. I mean, taking the steal and then turning it into 2 easy points on the dunk.
No telling how important that sequence could turn out to be.
Yeah, you know, sometimes your gut tells you to take a shot at the pick and then big move to keep the pressure on.
Oh, nice screen. Really a poor defensive reaction and the obvious result.
You simply can't give him that. You have to fight through the screen and at least get a hand in the face of the shooter.
Now here's Zeller, currently averaging almost 6 points a game. Nice pass in here by Charlotte. Clock at 4. Kid Gilchrist finds Lamb, drops in the tray. Lamb's got 7 points.
Found a little room behind the arc and didn't wait around. He just let it fly right in your eye.
What a way to do it. To the right side. Back to Felton. Pass to Adams. And it's Schroeder in the corner. And he's fouled pretty hard on that shot, but he's got the chance to pick up the points at the line.
Well, Dennis Schroeder showed he can handle high usage in an offense. Was the first option for the Hawks this past season. Even with defenses keyed in on him, he was able to average right around 20 points.
That's good from Schroeder. And with Schroeder, he said he learned how to deal with all that extra defensive attention.
And being able to stay productive when dealing with the best opposing defender goes a long way in the NBA. Schroeder also managed to cut down on his turnovers while taking on more of a playmaker role. Strong year for him offensively, and I wouldn't be surprised if he continues to grow as a player.
And that one goes in. 2 from the line that time.
I think it's best to avoid putting this guy at the line if possible, but that's obviously easier said than done.
And Lamb kicks to Zeller. Bridges with it. Nothing yet on the scoreboard for him. Here's Lamb. And Charlotte again with the bucket. And here's Westbrook. He'll bring it up for Oklahoma City. Pass to Robertson. To the left wing. Here's Adams. And the shot goes in.
Well, you can't do anything more defensively to stop Steven Adams. This guy is growing into a solid interior threat.
Lamb passes to Zeller. Now here's Lamb. Defense right on him. Outside, Batum. There's the foul. It's on Patrick Patterson. That is his first foul of the game. Puts it up off the inbound. Misses off the right iron. The Thunder leading by 4. Westbrook feeling it out a bit. Got a piece of it. It's stolen by Lamb. Outside, Batum. Kicks it to Lamb. Kaminsky in the corner. Shot clock at 6. Here's Batum. Drops it in from 11 feet. Batum's got 7 points for the quarter.
I think you could see early on that he was really with a rhythm and flow tonight, and now he's really starting to take off.
Here's Westbrook. Count the basket. Westbrook's got 6 points.
I can't imagine the energy expended by Russell Westbrook. Always a threat to score, even when he's getting knocked around.
Now here's Zeller. Bridges kicks to Batum. Now here's Lamb. He's covered by Westbrook. Now the pass to Kaminsky. 3-pointer. Thunder with the rebound. Inside. And Adams with the slam.
Steven Adams will leave no doubt when he's near the cup.
Hornets trail by 6. Batum dishes to Zeller. He kicks to Lamb. A three-pointer off the mark.
The defense not doing its job there. Left him wide open, and I'm sure he's kicking himself for not cashing in.
And finished off by Westbrook.
How about the high-flying antics of Russell Westbrook? The alley-oop. My goodness, that's pretty.
And that was an unleashed chaos moment indeed. What a spectacular play. Sponsored by Under Armour Hover Havoc. Now here's Lamb. He's got 9. Here's Bridges. A stupendous finish in traffic. Bridges has got his first basket of the night.
Not only a jump shooter, Bridges also dependable at knowing how to get it done inside.
Here's Westbrook. Goes to the reverse layup and drops it in. 10 points for him.
And they are attacking the rim and getting great results.
Charlotte calls timeout. Doris, when it comes to filling in the rest of a roster, the pieces around your star players, what qualities do you think these teams are looking for, or would you be looking for in a role player?
Well, I think one of the first things you have to think about, or what are the best attributes of my stars? So is my star a great driver creator? Then I need to put great shooters around him to enhance his driving and playmaking abilities. But the other part of a role player is you've got to be willing to do the dirty work, to sacrifice the headlines and dig in on the defensive end, to absorb the best matchup of the opponent every night. And that means sometimes you're going to get scored on 5-6 times in a row. That's how good the offensive players in the league are. So there are many qualities, but those are just a couple off the top of my head, Kev.
Hornets trail by 9. And Lamb kicks to Kaminsky. It's good. Kaminsky's got his second bucket of the night.
Yeah, they've gotten into a nice flow this quarter.
Now here's Westbrook. 13 points in the game. Westbrook double team. And there's the whistle. That goes on Frank Kaminsky. That's his first foul. And the Thunder making a switch here. George is checked in. The Hornets also with a sub. Hernan Gomez is checked in. Passes to Patterson. Here's Robertson. Taking a look at his numbers, he averages about 7 points a game. Just 2 to shoot, and it's good, 2 points. Robertson's got 5.
So aggressive, fighting his way through contact. Andre Robertson determined to score it there.
Lamb passes to Monk. Hernan Gomez in the corner. Pass to Bridges. Charlotte moving it around. Here's Lamb. Hits the three-point bomb. Lamb's got 8 points here in this quarter.
Unable to close out defensively, even against the smaller shooter.
Well, credit the shooter. It's just great work carving just enough space to get that 3 off in time.
Now here's Patterson. 11 points for him in that last game against Golden State.
And what a wrecking ball defensively, seen by the 4 steals he had in that game.
Great job of screening there. Nice job to take it to the rim and get the finish.
Pass to Monk. The tray. But they recover it. Kaminsky kicks to Lamb. Monk, the pass to Hernan Gomez. The Hornets need to get a shot off here. The shot by Monk is no good.
I'll tell you, it'd be a big help if he could snap out of this cold streak. His shooting has been hurting them.
Not quite enough defense that time around. Just lucky he was off.
Here's Bridges. The shot is good. And so is his shooting tonight. 3 for 4.
An under-control player in close. Even when Bridges is under pressure, he just stays committed to his move.
Now 8 seconds separating the two.
My goodness, is there anything better than watching Westbrook hammer at home? My goodness gracious, Russell.
And here is Monk. He's coming off a 13-point game against Indiana. A step-back shot here. Here's Kaminsky, and it's good, but hold on. The officials may want to look at that one on the replay monitor. And the teams are going to have to wait before heading to the locker room. They're going to bring out the monitor and see if he got that shot off in time.
And a chance here to just double-check the ruling on the floor. I wasn't sure if he got it off in time or not, so I appreciate the second look as well.
And it looks like they got it right this time. No basket. The clock had expired while the ball was still in his hands.
Yeah, and even if they don't show it, I know the refs are proud of themselves after a replay proves them right. They're like, see, we had it right all along. So good call, fellas.
Russell Westbrook has been leading the charge for the Oklahoma City Thunder. He comes away with 11 points in the quarter and is showing no signs of fatigue. And now let's catch up with David Aldridge, who's standing by from the sideline. All right, Dave.
Kevin, thanks. Billy, balanced scoring for your team. How pleased are you with the way they're keeping everybody involved offensively?
Well, those guys, I think, have done a really good job of moving the ball and sharing the ball, and they're finding open men and they're willing passers. And I think because of that, they've been efficient offensively.
Open shots tend to be made. Thanks, Coach. Back to you, Kevin.
All right, David, thank you. And stay with us, folks. We'll be back just after halftime to get the third quarter started.
The 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hey, it's good to have you back. You're watching the 2K Sports Halftime Show. This right here is Kenny the Jet Smith. This right here is Shaquille O'Neal. Me, I'm just Ernie. There was no stopping Russell Westbrook in the first half. He ended up with 15 points, 3 assists, and 1 rebound. Shaq, your thoughts on the Thunder?
The quickness of Russell Westbrook unmatchable in the first half. Even when a defender anticipates his dribble move, hard to stay in front of this guy. He's moving 2,000 miles per hour. And in an open court, his acceleration usually makes it no contest.
Kenny, what was your takeaway on Charlotte?
Well, I think they could be way more physical than they have been in the first half. Their defense gave up way too many easy looks, and that kind of defense will turn to a loss any night.
That's all for now. Say goodbye to the folks. Thanks for joining us. Third quarter, just about ready to begin.
Welcome back to Oklahoma City, everyone. You can see Chesapeake Energy Arena there in the background as the cars stream down I-40. And for those of you just tuning in, thanks for being with us. The second half of this game still to play. Well, you look at Russell Westbrook in this game, he has been everywhere.
I mean, he was prolific in that first half. You know it's coming, but it's just so tough to stop.
And this is what he does, right, Greg? He's out there to score the basketball, and throughout that first half, he dominated.
And we hope you've enjoyed the broadcast so far. We're halfway through the game. And so it's Lamb with it. He brings it up for Charlotte. Trailing here by 8. They've got the Hawks ahead of them in their next game, and it's in Atlanta. That will conclude their brief 2-game road trip. Here's who James Borrego is starting the second half with. Kaminsky and Zeller are the bigs. Then there's Batum, then it's Jeremy Lamb, and it's Graham in at the point. Kaminsky misses.
Oh, great effort there. That's how you defend the paint.
Well, that's just stellar interior defense. You can't ask for anything more than that.
Now, here's Westbrook. In the corner, it's Patterson. And Adams with the slam.
We are talking about a big-time offensive rebounder, and Steven Adams unafraid to impose his will with that frame.
Here's Lamb. Outside, Batum. He can't get that one. Oklahoma City leading by 10.
And Steven Adams came into this league at 19 already a physical specimen and has only gotten stronger. Just a bruising presence down low.
And it's going to be out of bounds. The Thunder will retain possession.
And defensively, great anticipation, making a play there on the ball.
Well, superb awareness, Greg, right? Not allowing them to get comfortable running their offense, being super aggressive.
To the wing on the left, launches it. Patterson can't get it to go. Hornets trail by 10. They've been looking out of sync offensively.
Yeah, their offense has ground to a standstill.
No good from Lamb.
And they start the second half with 3 straight misses.
Westbrook finds Robertson. Patterson with it. Covered by Lamb. 4-3, Westbrook. He's off on that one. Now Charlotte takes it the other way.
That's 1 for their first 4 to start the second half.
Here's Batum. Zeller trying to free himself up. And again, the Hornets missing.
Boy, they can't buy one right now. 0 for 4 to start the second half.
Ring shot on the way. Outside for George. Outside Westbrook. And again, no good by Oklahoma City. For Charlotte, they've gone 0 of 4 from the field in the second half. Yet to find the mark. Now Lamb. He's got 12. And George gets the whistle that time. That's his first foul. A little under 2.5 minutes gone by here in the third. Here's Graham, defended by George. Good. Graham's got it back down to within single digits for Charlotte.
Boy, what touch. You know, a lot of guys don't have the kind of feel necessary to make the floater.
Back to George. Kicks to Patterson. 6 to shoot. The pass to Adams. Shoots over Batum. Adams' shot is good. Adams has got 8 points.
No doubt about the consistency when it comes to scoring the basketball for him tonight. A real nice lift for their offense.
And the Hornets call time here. The sturdy Patrick Patterson, the 14th pick out of Kentucky back in 2010.
What you love about Patrick Patterson is he's turned himself into a three-point specialist over the course of his career. You know on a night-by-night basis what you're going to get on the defensive end. And that is a multi-positional defender who's going to give you great effort every single time out. There's something to be said about Patrick's ability to adjust and evolve his game as the NBA has evolved.
Noel's checked in for Patterson. The Hornets also changing it up. Biombo is checked in for Frank Kaminsky. And Michael Kidd-Gilchrist subbed in for Lamb.
Really the right play defensively. If you can't block, force them to the line.
Charlotte shooting their third and fourth free throw attempts of the game. And that one falls for Graham. Raymond Felton, he's checked in for Oklahoma City. Both shots good from the stripe.
When you think about Billy Donovan, to me, he's a guy who values trust and building relationships with players. This guy is not a dictator. He wants to help players grow and develop, and that helps you win.
Graham kicks to Zeller. Outside, Batum. Here's Graham. He's covered by Westbrook. A floater, it's good, and the Thunder lead is cut down now to just 9 in the basket from Graham. And And for Coach Billy Donovan, the process of developing NBA players, Doris, has to be different than it was in college.
Oh, no doubt. At the pro level, many guys are making more money than you are. A lot of them have families. They've already grown into themselves. But to me, he still emphasizes the fact that great relationships with your players is important.
Now, Kid Gilchrist, after Westbrook's missed three. Here's Batum. That shot missing, and Oklahoma City will go with it the other way. The biggest lead of the game, 15 points. And that one's good, George.
How many times have we seen a possession like that from them today, ending with a basket coming off a pretty pass?
Graham kicks to Biyombo. He dishes it to Graham. Batum passes to Zeller. Outside for Batum. Shoots over Adams. Not enough on that one as it misses.
And they've only got a slight edge on the boards, but it just feels a lot bigger.
Batum against Felton. Here's Adams. Batum grabs the miss. Hornets trail by 11. To the inside, Zeller. And the dunk by Zeller.
And he just leaves the D in the dust and explodes to the basket.
You're right. Maybe a momentum changer right there, huh?
And you can blame it on a terrible defensive breakdown, one that could possibly swing the momentum here.
Here's Westbrook. Oklahoma City keeping it alive with a new 24-second shot clock. In the corner, George with it. Just 5 on the clock. Goes back up. A tad short, but it's good off the front iron. George has got 16 points.
Yeah, Paul George, a tremendous jump shooter. Squares up, knocks it down. The defense has got to be better.
And the Hornets call time here.
Well, you think to Steven Adams, and coming out of New Zealand, playing about 1 year at the University of Pittsburgh, now in his 5th season as a starter for the Thunder. And what a pivotal guy he's become for this franchise.
A different look for Oklahoma City. Grant comes in for George. And Dennis Schroeder subbed in for Russell Westbrook. And then for Charlotte, Hernan Gomez comes in for Cody Zeller. And Monks subbed in for Nicholas Batum.
Well, the young Spaniard, Willie, a good finisher around the rim.
Oklahoma City leading by 9. And Steven Adams drafted by OKC with the 12th pick in 2013. That draft pick, a centerpiece of the James Harden trade.
And that trade will go down as one of the great conversation pieces of all time, whether or not you should have moved James Harden. But the reality is, where Adams is concerned, they got a two-way big man with incredible athleticism, unbelievable physical strength, and an evolving offensive game. So this is one piece of the trade that you have made great use of.
Now, here is Hernan Gomez. Adams defending. They get a hand on it. Felton with the ball. Currently averaging almost 6 points a game. They grab their own miss, and Noel throws it down.
We're talking about a guy who's got incredible length. Nerlens Noel doing work on the glass.
Graham kicks to Hernan Gomez. And there's the foul. That's on Steven Adams. That's his first foul. And the Hornets making a change here. Bridges checks in. Monk dishes to Graham. 6 to shoot. It's good. Graham's got 8 points here in this quarter.
Boy, you can't pin their struggles today on him. He's been on fire from the field.
Schroeder outside. In the corner, it's Felton. The shot's good on the assist by Schroeder. Felton's got his second bucket of the game to go.
Well, Felton's so smooth with that jumper, leaves the floor quickly and releases it in no time.
Biyombo, the pass to Monk. And the dunk by Biyombo.
And gobbled up that rebound and went straight into attack mode on the putback.
Oof, he is one of the most determined rebounder guys we have got in the NBA.
The tireless work ethic, the passion, he's a guy the team relies on for that.
And the D has gotten a little bit laxed here defending the triple.
Graham kicks to Monk. Over Grant. And that misses badly. Air ball.
Just a solid performance on the interior. The rebounding has been off the charts.
Now here's Noel. Back to Grant. There's the three. They get it back. And the call will be against Hernan Gomez. That is his first foul of the game. Patrick Patterson, he's checked in for Oklahoma City. Robertson comes in for Grant.
Patrick Patterson. Andre Robertson.
Here's Patterson. They lead by the biggest margin of the game, 15 points. Robertson finds Noel. Now Patterson. Clock at 6. Here's Felton. Noel trying to break loose. And that's an air ball. Not even close.
Well, obviously it's been an off night for him offensively, but give his teammates credit. They've bailed him out. He's still got time to turn it around.
And it's Graham missing. Oklahoma City leading by 15. Passes to Patterson. Out to the right wing. Schroeder outside. Shoots over Graham. Here's Noel. And Noel throws it down.
And that's an example of his athleticism, right? Nerlens Noel, the ability to leap up and ram it home.
Biyombo, the pass to Bridges. Shoots over Schroeder. And the rejection by Noel. Bridges misses. And it's Schroeder with the ball. He brings it up for the Oklahoma City Thunder. Pass to Patterson. Shoots over Biyombo. Patterson can't get it to go.
Yeah, and something we always talk about, though, shot selection.
Yeah, that's not a good example right there. You could have worked it around to get a better opportunity.
1:36 left in the third. Graham with the bucket.
Great quarter for him at the offensive end, trying to will his team back in the game.
Now here's Schroeder. Graham defending. Pass to Patterson. Over to the left wing. Robertson kicks it over to Schroeder. To the middle. It's tipped. It's stolen by Hernan Gomez. 1:03 left here in the third quarter. Here's Bridges. It's rebounded by Oklahoma City. Noel's got rebound number 8 now on the night.
+8 in the rebound differential. One more reason why they're in control.
Now here's Schroeder. He's got 11. George is checked in for Raymond Felton. Jeremy Lamb's checked in for Charlotte.
Substitution.
40 seconds left in the third quarter. From outside the arc. Patterson can't get it to go.
He's cold from deep. 0 threes in the second half after hitting just 1 in the first.
Knocked away. Down low. Bridges passes to Monk. He kicks it to Lamb. 4 on the shot clock. A floater, and he lays it up and in. Lamb's got 14 points for the game.
Boy, I'll tell you, it takes a lot of confidence to go with the floater. That is not as easy as it looks.
Here's Schroeder, and he could not get that one to go. A lot of contact, and he'll go to the line for two. That's on Miles Bridges. Oklahoma City shooting their 6th and 7th free throw attempts tonight.
Two shots.
That's good from Schroeder. And the Hornets making a change here. Schroeder hits them both. Here's Monk. And he was able to put it up in time, but doesn't fall. And so it's the Oklahoma City Thunder riding a 15-point lead at the end of the quarter. They've had such great ball movement and shot selection, and it's led to a terrific field goal percentage. And don't go away. We'll be right back. Now let's hear what head coach Billy Donovan was reviewing with his team in the huddle.
Exert yourself by being disciplined and focused on the right stuff. All right, good job. We'll go now.
Words of praise from Billy Donovan asking them to stay locked in, make good choices.
Yeah, and when all 5 of these guys are on the same page, great things tend to happen. So let's see if that continues.
And there may not be a lot of drama down the stretch as we head into the 4th quarter, but stranger things have happened. Robertson and George fill out the wings. Nerlens Noel is out there with Patrick Patterson. And it's Schroeder in at the point guard position. That's the lineup in the game for Oklahoma City.
That's a perfect mid-range jumper. All he needs is an inch of space, and they gave it to him.
And Lamb kicks to Monk. Hands the shot with nobody near him.
And Monk's just got a good feel for kind of how to exploit the defense, especially about how quickly he gets his shot off after getting the pass.
Now, here's George. Over Bridges. Rebounded by Lamb. Lamb's got 6 rebounds in the game. Here's Bridges, and that one drops.
They're consistently finding ways to get the ball inside and taking full advantage.
Schroeder outside. 17-foot shot on the way. George, no good. Hornets trail by 13. About a minute and a half through the 4th quarter now. Here's Lamb. That's the 6th make from the field. He's taken 9 shots and missed but 3.
And defensively, they are on their heels every time the ball comes inside.
Some nice passing by Oklahoma City here. Now here's Noel. He's guarded closely. And that one's good. Schroeder. Schroeder's got 9 points here in the 2nd half.
Still attacking, building on this lead coming down the stretch.
I'll tell you, he's relentless right now. He's going straight at the defense and knocking down a lot of shots in this quarter.
Swiped it away. And now the fast break. Schroeder with the ball. George with no one around. The shot's good on the assist by Schroeder. Schroeder's got his 3rd assist on the night. Hornets trail by 16. Over to the left wing. Monk, the pass to Hernan Gomez. Now, here's Monk. D right on him. And oh, here we go with George. Nobody back. And George with the stuff.
Now, Kevin, terrific activity from Paul George. Sticks his long arms in and mucks up the passing lanes.
Lamb finds Hernan Gomez. Now, here's Bridges. There's the foul. It's on Patrick Patterson. That's foul number 2 for him. And the Thunder with some changes. Steven Adams, he's checked in for Noel. And Russell Westbrook is subbed in for Dennis Schroeder. Charlotte also making some changes. Cody Zeller's checked in for Hernan Gomez. Kid Gilchrist comes in for Bridges, and it's Batum in for Monk. And just about 3 minutes through the fourth quarter here. Knocked loose. Clock at 6. Kid Gilchrist against George. Off the left rim and out.
Boy, that's just the kind of tight defense you need to play on him. Any kind of room at all, and he'll bury it.
Bangs home the trifecta.
And it's been about that execution offensively. I mean, they have been superb.
There's no doubt. They're making all the right moves. Their chemistry tonight has been phenomenal.
Now here's Zeller. Here's the teardrop. And plenty of contact on the shot. So 2 free throws coming up. And there's the call. Oklahoma City with the foul.
Nick Batum, a versatile swingman out of France, a solid shooter and able to create for himself and his teammates.
Two.
And the first one at the line is good. And for Batum, a steady vet, but a huge contract.
Yeah, and that infamous summer of 2016 with the cap spike. I mean, he's a capable starter, but 5 years, $120 million, boy, that's a pretty penny.
Both free throws good from Batum. Doris, you think of all the highlight reel plays we get to see up close. We're so lucky. We feel the same way every time we sit courtside and watch one of these games. One of the most enjoyable parts about it, seeing the reactions of the guys on the bench.
They're just losing it, Kevin. They're falling down and they're bumping into each other, and then seeing the opposing bench trying to keep that poker face. They know they're not supposed to react, but sometimes the play is just so good you can't help it.
And we get out of our seats, don't we? I mean, just like the players do. We get out of our seats.
Oh, no doubt. I'll stand up, wave my hands in the air. Are you kidding? Well, the New Zealander shows a little hops on the alley-oop.
And that was an unleashed chaos moment indeed. What a spectacular play. Sponsored by Under Armour Hover Havoc. Here's Lamb. And once again, off the mark by Charlotte.
They have been board dominant in this game. That's definitely been a factor in crafting this huge lead.
And he gets the bucket.
Indicative of what we've seen tonight. One team being the aggressor, the other failing to react.
Right, really a disappointing effort on the defensive end, not offering any challenge at all at the cup.
And so here's Charlotte, the Thunder making the shot. Charlotte again missing. The Thunder leading by 23. George looking around. George double teamed. The pass to Patterson. Out of bounds. Charlotte takes possession. And here's the upcoming schedule for Charlotte. On Sunday, they'll continue the road trip, heading out to Atlanta to take on the Hawks. Then on Monday, they'll be playing against LaMarcus Aldridge and the Milwaukee Bucks.
And if I'm this team, I'm looking at this as a barometer to see how we stack up against some of the top teams in the league. They'll have to be at their best, but if they come out of this with some success, I think it'll build momentum for the rest of the run.
Now here's Kaminsky after Jeremy Lamb's miss. A shot by Batum, no good. Batum against Westbrook. Batum with the steal. And a fast break now for the Hornets. Kid Gilchrist leading the charge and finished off by Kaminsky.
And guys got careless with the ball there, and the turnover leads to the big stuff.
Once he came up right with the steal, he went straight on the attack.
Fantastic anticipation. Then he shows major explosiveness converting at the other end.
And the Hornets making a change here. Graham's checked in.
Frank Kaminsky, a finesse 7-footer out of Wisconsin, a high skill level, but athletically at a disadvantage most nights.
Now here's Westbrook. Kicks it to Adams. And he drops it in from the low post. Adams has got 4 points in the quarter.
He's made obvious improvements since the half, really getting into an offensive groove.
The fadeaway. And it's good off the back rim and in. And it's 13 points for Batum.
He got a little fancy with the fadeaway on that one.
Now here's Westbrook. Graham defending. Here's George. And he makes that one. George has got 14 points here in the second half.
Well, Paul George just putting on a show right now. He's been around this league for a long time. The confidence is there.
Ball's knocked loose. Stolen by George. Batum with the steal. And here is Lamb. On the wing, Batum. Pass to Zeller. Batum wide open. He fires. The rebound by Steven Adams. Adams has got rebound number 17, if you can believe that.
Yeah, and they've shown effort and aggression in the paint, really right from the tip. Their rebounding edge right now, massive. And they've gotten very aggressive on the offensive glass here in the second half, getting a lot of second chance points.
16 feet away, and the Hornets miss again. Oklahoma City's gone 2 for 2 from three-point land to start the fourth quarter. Here's George, and he uses the glass on the layup. George has got 28 points for the game.
Boy, what has gotten into him? He's taken his game to an unreal level this quarter.
And that'll be Oklahoma City's ball as it goes out of bounds. And a new group in here for the Thunder. Jeremy Grant, he's checked in for Patterson. Luwawu Cabarro comes in for George. Alex Abrinas has checked in for Andre Robertson. And it's Felton in for Russell Westbrook. Oklahoma City shooting has been outstanding in this game at 58%. Abrinas kicks to Luwawu Cabarro. You know, a lot of people have looked at the schedule of the NBA, Doris, and they think you could eliminate back-to-backs of teams that face each other 4 times in a season, do a 2-game series in each city. It's kind of a baseball-type feel. Would you support that?
You know, it's an intriguing possibility to me, Kevin, because, one, it would cut down on travel, which obviously would make things a little bit better and easier for players. The travel schedule is taxing, particularly on back-to-backs. And so I don't know if there would be an opportunity for Adam Silver to maybe somehow run a test case. Would you be willing to put it in for a season, see how it fits in the overall context of the season? But it is an intriguing idea, and we are trying to improve the product no matter which way we go.
Charlotte has gotten off to an 0 for 2 start from downtown here in the fourth quarter. Pass to Zeller. Shoots over Adams. Charlotte no good that time either. Now the Thunder with it. Fires from deep. And again, Oklahoma City with the triple.
And they're just dominating on both ends. And it's reflected now in the score.
Oh, absolutely, Greg. They're absolutely rolling in sync totally on both the offensive and defensive ends.
And they've just tried everything to stem the tide here, but nothing seems to work.
Greg, I think this other team is just in a zone right now. They're clicking on the offensive end, and the defense starting to look frustrated.
Nice shot by Felton.
They're doing a really good job of getting the ball inside and attacking the paint. That's an area they have completely dominated.
Now, here's Biyombo to the inside. Zeller inside. Adams defending. And Adams sends it back.
And the defense of Steven Adams is so important to this team. They depend on him to be a rim protector now.
And it's out of bounds. Oklahoma City able to retain possession here. Left side, Felton. Oklahoma City moving the ball around. Shot clock at 5. Grant the pass to Adams. Good for another basket. He's put up 10 shots and made 7 of them.
You know, put a rough first half behind him. He's absolutely crushing it here in the second.
Well, the league taking steps, Doris, to reform the draft lottery, flattening out the odds, doing a variety of things just to analyze the way it works, the mechanics. Do you think the change will be enough?
Well, again, I think this goes back to the leadership at the top of the NBA, and the right man is in charge in Adam Silver. And as is typical to Adam Silver, everything happens with a very measured approach in terms of reform. You do a little bit, and then you evaluate. But I think Adam has made it clear that the change they made to the draft lottery was nothing more than a first step. Now, where do we go from here? That remains to be seen.
And there's the call on Cody Zeller. That'll be his second foul of the game.
You know what? You've got to always be in control of your emotions.
Hernan Gomez is checked in for Charlotte. And so here is Oklahoma City. Inside, Batum with the steal. A fast break now for Charlotte to stop the run. Unable to get that one. Now Oklahoma City takes it the other way. Felton deciding where to go with it. Pass to Adams. Outside for Felton. Clock at 4. It's rebounded by Charlotte. 1:29 left in the game.
Yes, and with this one winding down, it's obvious to everyone who watched it. Just a total mismatch and a true show of strength for the Thunder.
They simply ran him off the court.
They set the pace, and their transition game was executed flawlessly.
And it'll advance their win total up to 12 on the season.
Important. With this win, they split the season series at a game apiece and also avoid the sweep. And that has to be a relief.
And guys, one of the steady and outstanding players putting in another impressive performance. It was a big-time outing for George.
Well, guys, this guy has been a handful all night long. His scoring really propelled them. And no matter what the matchup was or what the scheme they tried to use, they could not keep this guy in check.
Felton kicks to Luwawu Cabarro. And the pass to Adams. Outside, Felton. Passes to Luwawu. Knocks it loose. Three-pointer on the way. Batum grabs the miss. And it's Batum with the ball, bringing it up for the Charlotte Hornets. The rebound by Grant.
And that's really a function of the offense not working as it should.
Yeah, no, exactly. That's not how you capitalize on the offensive end. You simply have to be more patient.
Now Felton. So no problem for Oklahoma City as they get the win. And the outcome of this one was never in doubt.
And boy, they really put in a supreme effort. It just felt like once they had that lead and it was comfortable, they were not going to relinquish it.
And a chance now to send it over to David Aldridge, standing by courtside. David.
Thanks very much, Paul. Congrats on the win. Where's your team's attitude right now?
Continue to, play together, and we can just stick to that. Keep working, staying confident, keep defending, and knocking shots down. We'll be all right.
Looked like it all came together tonight, Paul. Thanks very much. Back to you, Kevin.
All right, David, thank you. And that about wraps it up. For Greg Anthony, Doris Burke, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan. Thanks for tuning in. See you later.